So, good afternoon, everybody. On a sunny-ish afternoon here in Alaurin de la Torre, and it is now what's this? Our weekly update number 105. So, yeah, let's get straight into it with the graphics. Sorry, I really should have cleaned up my desk, before. Been a busy day today, as usual, which is great for Visa World. And so 105, as you can see this week, I'm in the office, so we shouldn't have any microphone fails or any technical fails. I've really got to sort out my YouTube room at home, but at the moment, we're still dealing with a couple of leaks in the roof, which has taken priority over me setting up my room. But I'm going to get one of these mics, which make it sound a lot better, which I meant to check to make sure I'm actually using the correct one. Yes, I am. Perfect. All right, let's jump. We've got 90. Oh, we've got 13 people on at the moment. Lots to talk about today. And as you can see, it's sunny outside. Well, not sunny, but the sun is up. As the year rolls on, the nights are getting longer, and then what happens next? Is it spring forward? Is it autumn? Is it spring forward and then autumn jumps back? When do the clocks go back or forward next? I can never remember. So is it going to get darker in the mornings, lighter in the mornings, darker at night? I don't mind lighter mornings and darker nights, to be honest with you. I'm happy with that. The light nights, especially around June, go on forever, don't they? Anyway, who's on the chat? We've got loads of people on. How are we doing? Hola from Stephen Pauline from a calm, sunny Torox. Yeah, nice. I haven't been to Torox for ages. When I come down, we're going to have to meet up. That's my favorite side of Malaga, that is. Talking about Torox, we used to go to the campsite there when the kids were younger. There you go. Rob. Hey, here we go. How you doing? Yep, all good here. All healthy. Had a haircut. You can see, nice young lad who embarrassed me. He went, "Oh, your Spanish is good. How long you been here?" I said, 26 years. He went, "Longer than me." I said, "Why old are you?" He said, 21. I said, "Oh, I feel old." Hey, Tony, how you doing? In the basement at La Cala Golf. How you doing up there in La Cala Golf? How's the weather? I'm on time today. Hey. I don't know about these notification things. Hey, Alexander, do you get notifications? Hola, Chris. Hey, finally made it to a live. Well, you guys have been busy, haven't you? First beginning of the year, busy time for you. Hello from Stephen Andrea, not Angela from, sorry, from sunny and breezy Camposol. Yeah, sorry about that. That was a spell check mistake. And hey, Robbo's on. Yogi's on. How you doing, Yogi? Good to see you when you're back in Spain, Yogi. Matt David, good afternoon from wet UK. I did see on my mum's cameras, I've got a little door. I've got access to a doorbell. I can see it was a bit wet. And here we go. Buenas tardes. The Cochabamba. Hey, 20. I know, Patrick, 21-year-old barber. He said, "You've been in Spain 5 years longer than me." I said, "Why?" He said, "I was born in 2006. I was like, I bought my first house here in Spain in 2006. Thank you, Yogi. Thank you. That will go into our little office pot. Yogi stuck a super thingy. And if you do like the content, you can always buy us a coffee here in the top right-hand corner, left-hand corner, wherever it is. Are you in Valencia? Oh, you'll have to go and see my mate Costa. I'm afraid I won't make it up to Valencia for the 5th of March because the week before that, I'm going to Barcelona, believe it or not. Hopefully. Yeah, sunny up in the hills there. Yeah, a weekend. Now, you're the other side of the hill to me. So where I live and where we work is we're over the Alarin side of your mountain, and where you are looking, you can look over this side, I think. So all good. Right, and should we crack on then? Because I've been waffling on already for 5 minutes and haven't told you anything. Where are we? Residency and visas. Well, we have had, I'm going to do, I keep saying I'm going to do the show on renewals, which we're going to do because renewals have gone crazy at the moment. We had a lot of renewals approved. So congratulations for those of you who had your renewals approved. Jen, I know sometimes you watch here. Congratulations to you. And everybody got their renewals approved this week, but we've also had some really crazy requirements, and we had one rejection which we're going to have to now turn around. I wanted to talk to you about the timeline of rejections and what you need to do. Okay, so with the renewals, and I'll come on to visas in a minute, the main things that we're having problems with at the moment is the origin of the funds that people are using for the renewals. Even people who have put funds into Spain, but very close to the renewal date, have before that it was we provide 12 months worth of statements, maybe an actual balance statement from the bank in Spain, which is a document called a certificado de saldo actual. Okay, so you could have a certificado de saldo actual, which is an actual balance certificate, and 12-month statements, which is 12 meses de extractos bancarios. Okay, and because the money's coming to Spain and immigration generally we thought would consider that the banks do their due diligence on that money, there was never really a question. We've had it twice now where they've actually asked us to prove the origin of the funds because there's a large amount deposited in a bank, which means that if you are thinking of bringing your funds to Spain into a Spanish high street account to support the visa, and it still is the best way, I'm afraid, whether you like it or not, it's the best way, then it's better to do it right at the beginning of your residency period and not just before your renewal, because they do ask for proof of the origin of those funds, which again isn't a problem. We can do that using statements from where the funds came from, and there's various ways we do it, but it was just, to let you know that's one of the things we have. The other thing we're having is they're getting extremely strict on the migratory movements, and making sure that people have been in the country 183 days. And also we've had one request, even for somebody who had the stamps that matched the fact that they were here 183 days, they still wanted to see further proof of them in the country. And that proof could be anything. It's got bank account movements. It could be that you've had medical appointments, that you belong to a club, they've given you receipts, that you're taking Spanish lessons, anything that we can prove, anything that's documentary, a document which has got your name on it and isn't written on a normal piece of paper. It could be a receipt or an invoice from a gym. It just highlights that even though you are keeping your stamps clean in your passport, you've got records of all your travel. Even with that, now I think moving forward and how we're seeing it at the beginning of the year is a good idea, just to keep all the documents, the proof of your, shall we say, real and effective residence in Spain, in case you are asked for it on an NRV renewal. And we know that in EU family members applications, they've been asking for that for an awful long time anyway, to prove that you're living here before you actually apply. So there you go. There's a couple of things that came through the renewals. What else came through the renewals requirements this week? And they take so long to write the letters. You have to write a letter every time replying to it. And, they come out okay in the end, but the letters can take a while to write. Oh, yes. And here's another one. Proving now on the second renewals, proving that you have maintained your health insurance during the time that you want to renew for, and the period before the renewal. So if you had private health insurance, we now have to not only submit the fact that you've renewed your private health insurance moving forward, we have to submit proof that you've maintained your health insurance over the previous 2 years, which brings me to the permanent residency applications, which we're going to start seeing for Brits this year. So at the end of the 5-year period, you've been on an NLV. And I'm pretty sure that those applications are going to include requests for proof you've maintained your health insurance over those previous 2 years. Okay, that's what I think is going to happen. We'll let you know when it happens, but that's what I think is going to happen. Okay, then. So let's get on to the visas. Got a photo here to show you. Here we go. He says, oh. So congratulations to Neil and Catherine there. That was incredibly from Manchester. Their appointment was on the 22nd of December. So we're doing this full U-turn at Manchester now. And the visa came out on the 6th of February. So well done, guys. Congratulations. Got your visas. I'm really happy for you. Martin and Debbie, this is what they said to me in the email. We'll not complain about Manchester Consulate again. 50 days from the date we put them in, the visa application in. 42 days if you take out Christmas, 6 weeks, and only 34 working days. We are over the moon. Congratulations, guys. That is visas from Manchester to Mercia. So, yeah, that was our 2 visas that we got out, 2 couples that we got out this week, and no more. So there we go. Okie dokie. Right, what else have we got in the chat? Diane, hey, how you doing? Hope you're well. Chris, yeah, all okay. Upsticks, yeah, we're all good. All good here. Catching up now with we've had the withdrawal agreement. I don't even talk about withdrawal agreement, do I? I should do for you Brexit guys. The withdrawal agreement renewals, the permanent renewals from people who got their residency before Brexit and benefited from that EU status, withdrawal agreement status, and then got a 5-year temporary card. All of these are coming up for renewal now. And there's been an avalanche over the last 3 months. I think we've done 250, easy 250. As I say, wasn't the biggest fan of Brexit, but got to be honest, hold my hands up, not been bad for business. We've been doing these. Hats off to the police stations. They've been doing a grand job. Everything's been going through really well. There's been no extra requirements. That basically, as long as the clients are still registered on the system, they updated their address if they've got a padron, if they've got children identified that they are the responsibilists of the children. If people have had name changes, that brings me on to another point now. That has to be proven. But generally, all the appointments have gone very, very, very well. No requirement for healthcare or funding. And to be honest with you, withdrawal agreement beneficiaries, which includes myself, okay, we've been very, 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 very lucky. We've done very well, and our rights have been protected. And with the renewals, congratulations to everybody who got their renewals. As I say, I never say congratulations, but 250 people who I would say 90% of them came to us the first time, and now we've taken them through 5 years because there was nothing to do in those 5 years. You know, I'm bigging up myself a little bit there. And the 5-year point, they've now got another 10 years. So as far as I'm concerned, those clients are going to be with us for 15 years. So well done, guys. And it's been nice to talk to a few faces that I haven't seen for 5 years as well. I had some other stuff here for the residency to show you. Check this out. Now, this was a text that I received. Detected a transaction of 1,846.82 euros in an unsecure place. If it's not you, phone 3491. That's a scam anyway. That's a scam. That's an absolute scam. I get annoyed with my bank because sometimes it blocks me for trying to buy stuff on Amazon because it thinks it's a dodgy purchase. And I'm not purchasing anything dodgy. I'm trying to get some envelopes for the office. And so be careful of these text, guys. Do not phone numbers which come through on text. Doesn't matter how valid it is. Even if, like I showed you the DGT one the other day, it says hit here to pay your fine. Don't do it. Go in through your digital signature or sign into your banking app and check it out on there. Okay. All right. So check it out on there on your banking app, but do not ever phone any of these numbers that come through on text because they're just scams. They really are. No worries, Paul. Great to see you in the house. That's 21 people on. That's nice. Hey, Martin, Debbie. Hello from not sunny UK for now. It's don't worry. That'll be fixed soon. So what else have we got here to show you? I also had. Oh, no, there we go. Okay then. Right, we've waffled on about residency enough now, haven't we? I think let's go on to a different section. We've got to leave a little bit earlier today, I'm afraid. Oh, one thing I did want to tell you, what's at the top of my head, was regarding timelines. And I just had this conversation with a client, and again, it gave me an idea for a video, and I always forget to do them. Was regarding, we're coming up to this capital gains window where people are trying to sell their properties, and but then be in Spain the end of the year, but there's the uncertainty of, is your property going to sell? And what do I do about the documents? And what's the timeline for getting the documents in the consulate, etc., etc. And we know that the timeline often is dictated by the amount of days the consulates are taking to produce the visas. So normally in a scale of the most to least, you've got Manchester, who generally take the full 3 months, but then contradict me this week by knocking out a couple and a half that time. You've got Edinburgh, who sort of sit in the middle, a couple of months, between a month to a couple of months, and London, which generally is very quick. So if you were to say Manchester 3, Edinburgh 2, London 1, across the board, that would be the average, but they do go up and down quite a lot. It's very unstable. So you've always got to prepare for 3 months, and don't forget you won't have your passport during that time. But one of the biggest questions is, I want to sell my house this year. It's going to go on the market now. So we're talking about, March, April time. And I want to move to Spain at the end of the year with a visa. So when do I do my appointment? And what happens if the house doesn't sell this year? As you know, you may not know, the fiscal year in Spain is between the 1st of January to the 31st of December. And if you spend physically, let's forget about visas and residency, even if you're non-resident, forget about that status. If you physically are in Spain for 183 days, then the tax office will consider you a fiscal resident. The tax office don't care about visas and residency only when it suits them. But if you're physically in the place in the country for 183 days or more, they consider you a fiscal resident. We're not tax advisors. Always get good tax advice. We can recommend some if you need it. But I'm talking generally now, and what we know from tax advisors, 1st of January, 31st December, more than 183 days, fiscal resident, which means that if you sold a property during that time, it made a capital gain, then albeit you may not be liable in the UK, you could be in Spain for capital gains tax. So lots of people try and sell the property at the beginning to the middle of the year, get a visa, and then come in at the back end of the year, which means this year they won't spend 183 days in Spain. Next year, 1st of January, they start their first fiscal year in Spain, nice and clean, because they've consolidated all of their assets and anything else. Remember that not only is it capital gains on property sale, it could be other fiscal items, maybe pension pots when you're taking your 25% or anything. Get tax advice. But what happens, for example, if you start the process, and I just had this conversation now, that's why it's in my head, and you say to me, Chris, the house is going on the market in March. We want to be in October time. We're going to Manchester, so it's a 3-month turnaround. We've got summer in between. What sort of timeline are we looking at? Okay, then. So I'd be saying, right, looking at being in October the 15th. Well, we get a 365-day visa, but I'd say we want to try and target the visa for around a month before. So let's take the 15th of September as your target visa date. It gives you a bit of leeway. Then go back 3 months. That's 15th of September, 15th of August, 15th of July, 15th of June. It's 3 months before. If you were to put your application in around the beginning of June, that's loads of time to get the visa and be in. What's the problem? There's a couple of problems there. First thing is the health insurance. Well, the health insurance, you can prolong the start date, but not too much, probably 2 or 3 months. So you're definitely going to waste a month or so before you actually get into Spain. And the other problem is if you basically start the paperwork and the property falls through and it doesn't look like it's going to sell this year, then you might not want to not come into Spain with a visa and push your whole timeline back to 2027. So you come in the back end of 2027 to not be liable for capital gains. So basically, the risk is an economic risk. So you could say you're targeting an appointment at the 15th of June and you start the process, okay, but you're selling your house from March onwards. And you say, do you know what? The paperwork takes 6 to 8 weeks to prepare. Give yourself 2 months. Let's start the paperwork in April. So your house goes on the market March. By the time you get to April, you should have a good idea for the market. You decide to crack on. Let's order ACROs, medical certificates, duplicate marriage certificates if needed. They're going to take a month. You're going to get to May. At that point in May, you're going to know whether your house is in a good position to sell. You still don't know. Okay, we're going to go ahead with the apostilles. Okay, so we spend more money. So probably you accumulated around, by the time you've got translations, apostilles, medical certificates, marriage certificates, etc., etc. It could be up to £500. Get your health insurance improved, but don't pay for it until you're absolutely certain that that house is going to sell. Okay, and you want to go to your appointment. So you've got to the point where it's close to the appointment date, and suddenly the house falls through. Doesn't look like you're going to sell it this year. You've got to push your whole timeline back. Okay. Well, basically, that's not a problem, but your documents are time sensitive. So you would have lost the money on the documents, the apostilles and the translations we've already done. But as I say, the health insurance really needs to be paid right at that last minute when you're 100% certain that sale is going to go through and you want to commit to getting the visa. So some people crack on with the uncertainty of knowing that they may lose the money for the documents, but don't pay for the health insurance until they're absolutely sure that property is going to go over the line. And if you're looking at a mid-June appointment, say, if you put it on the market now, 3 months should give you a good idea. Sadly, if you do decide that the house hasn't really sold and you do decide to go ahead and then it doesn't sell, well, then you've got to take either the hit on the health insurance or the capital gains the following year, haven't you? So yeah, that's sort of, it's a difficult question to answer, but that's the kind of conversations that I generally have with people on our discovery call. If that hasn't just complicated you, if you get what I mean from that. Neil, how you doing? Nice and warm. That's what we'd like to see. Oh. I do 90-day RAL. Hi, can you help? I do 90-day RAL at the moment. My partner proposed at the weekend. What is the best way to stay longer than 90 days? Both 70 young, getting married in the UK in August. Book a call in and we'll probably need to look at that, your whole situation first. Obviously NLV is, if you're retired, is the best way to come in if you've got British passports. Partner has residency. McIntyre, is that a withdrawal agreement residency? Remember, probably best to book in a call, and congratulations on the pending weddings. That's awesome. If your partner is a permanent withdrawal agreement beneficiary, then but you only just got married, then it would be reunification. And if you, for those of you who are married before Brexit and one of the spouses has got permanent residency, but the other one hasn't got residency, if you're married before residency, you can actually do a residency application from within Spain as a withdrawal agreement family member. But book a call in, we'll chat about the best way forward, because with the reunification, we've had some horror stories where people have then come to us after trying for reunification and just gone for an NLV, albeit their partner has withdrawal agreement status. So, yeah. Anyway, Jane says, where is it? What did I do for Jane says? Jane says, oh yes, when you when do you officially become a resident in Spain? We've got to be careful between, again, just had this conversation between the fiscal residency and the physical residency, and when you need to renew your residency, say for example on a non-lucrative visa. So at the moment with the residencies, with these new visas, what we're seeing generally across the board is that when you enter Spain, the residency will start from the last entry date on your passport. Even if you've entered a couple of times during the start of the visa. Some people come in, go back out, come back in, then got to the TIE appointment, they've used that last date. Ultimately, it's down to the person behind the desk which date they want to choose. Okay, and it doesn't seem to be written anywhere which one they should choose. But our experience is it is at the moment they're using the last entry into Spain as the start date to the residency, which means your TIE card will start at that point, which means that when you come to renewal, you've got 2 months before that date or up to 3 months after to submit your renewal. That's the start to your residency. And that's also where they're going to be looking at the days out that you spend of Spain. Remember, you can spend up to 183 days out of Spain and still renew a non-lucrative visa. But if you intend to go for permanent residency at the end of the 5-year period, you can only have spent 10 months over the full 5 years out, which averages to 2 months a year. So Jane wanted me to say that because it's come up quite a bit this week. And yeah, and basically you imagine people ask us about, oh, I've got to renew my passport halfway through the renewal process or halfway through my 5 years. Who puts the visa back in my passport? What do I do? Well, really, the visa is just your vehicle to enter Spain. Okay, so visa is a vehicle to enter Spain. Once you register for that TIE card, that supersedes the visa in your passport, and then you'll be renewing from that point using the dates on your TIE card. And if you renew your passport, it's not a problem. No one's going to put anything else in your passport. You continue to renew your TIE card. Just remember, before you send your old passport off, to get a full copy of every page digitally saved on your computer, physically in a folder, but I'd advise you do, at least the computer thing or both. If you're a client of ours, if you get a new passport, send us a full copy of your old passport before you send it off, because they should send it back to you with the corner cut off. But I've heard of 2 occasions now where the passports haven't been sent back for some reason, and we need those old passports for the renewal. So there we go. That was our Jane Says for today. And let's crack on with YouTube. So what have we got for YouTube for you today, guys? So check this out from Get Me to Spain, Not Just a Beach, Guatemala. There we go. Look, check out the channel, Get Me to Spain. And they've got some great, it's very, very, I say, raw material from people who have moved over and just showing how you can enjoy life when you retire in Spain. So get on with that and check it out. It's a great video. We've also got coming up with Scats next Monday, Residency in Spain, registration rules. That is myself and Scats, I'm really going to change that photo. It looks horrible, that one. My favorite glasses, which I lost. I love them sunglasses. They're varifocal Ray-Bans. I got them in Black Friday. I had them for 2 years and I lost them. Gutted. But check that out. Monday, 6 o'clock, U2 Spain. I will be on there. And also, there's Scats's. What was that? Oh, hang on a minute. That was his. That's a video on his channel. Can't remember what it was now. I haven't got the text here, but check out U2 Spain anyway. As you know, I'm on there regularly every 2 weeks, 6 o'clock on a Monday, and we just chat about anything residency and stuff like that. Now going to the YouTube comments. I'll find it up, wouldn't it? Chat amongst yourselves for a bit, guys. I did have it prepared. Dun, dun, dun. Where's the comments? Community. How do I see the comments? Here we go. Yeah, let's, right. So share screen. So if you're checking out our our shorts lately, you'd have seen I did a load of shorts when I went to I've done a short a day. I didn't do one today actually, or yesterday. I've got to upload a load more or just record them. It's because I was getting really short of comments, but anyway, and I always forget as well. But I went to Cayenne a couple of weeks ago, just for a couple of days for Lara's birthday, and I did a few shorts there. And I was just, when I wasn't driving, I just do shorts out of the car just to show you what it's like. And yeah, we've got some comments on there. Love Cayenne from 03364103. That's the Sierra Magina province of Cayenne. That area was flooded the day afterwards. Would you believe it? We were very, very lucky. The Norville, he said, well, I did a short about goats. I don't know if you can see the shorts. I was late for a school run. Oh no, you can't see that. I was late for a school run because check it out, the short. I went the back way and there was just goats everywhere. So yeah, but check out the shorts with Cayenne from the Iruela Castle as well. And then I'm just checking if there's any questions here. Yeah. Oh, Paul, just thanks, Paul, for your comment here, because I showed the storm, how it came down on us. It was after the Leonardo or Donatello or whatever storm it was that we had. And the day after, we had a terrible storm driving up to my house. And Paul said, take care, Chris. Hope you and the family are okay. We've been through the Dana here in Ador and know a little what you're going through. Yeah, cheers, Paul. We were so fortunate here in Alarin de la Torre. I mean, one thing is, I'm glad that the house we bought survived it all with a couple of leaks. So, you know, we know it's safe. It's not going to blow away. People had it. It was like it sort of bypassed us. There was the town in Huatataca where we had in Granada. I had a meal on the Sunday. The bridge was washed away on the Tuesday. I saw it on the news, and just terrible. So we were so lucky. So thank you, Paul. Really, really appreciate that. What else do we have here on our Bambi and Jojo? It's a big bonus to hear you can pick people up from the airport. Okay, yeah, so Bambi and Jojo, who sell the mobile homes, the luxury mobile homes up and down the whole of Spain. Check out that podcast there. It's on our channel, Bambi and Jojo, the TV stars. They actually pick people up from the airport as well, so that's great. And cheers, Yogi, for your comment there. Glad you got home safe. Yeah, we got home safe. It was all good. Elisa made a good point. With the palm trees, which I showed in the short, and my heart would be in my mouth until I passed the palm trees. So many have fallen to the saturated soil, sand, and high winds. Yeah, we got through them safely. If you look at the short on the left-hand side, every time I drive through that house, past that house, I'm always jealous. It looks like one of those big South American ranches. It's got huge palm trees. I love it. And but yeah, it's true. You have to be careful of the palm trees, and one of the reasons is because also the ones which are being eaten inside by those little weasel things, little palm tree bugs, can't remember what they're called. They become very weak, and you only see that very at the very last minute when the palm tree starts to die off, because palm trees are so hardy. They just fight on, fight on. It's only the last minute that you see that they're dead, and by that time they're hollow and they could land on you. And sorry, Nick, I missed your comment 5 days ago from our picking up and dropping off in Malaga airport. Nick said, "Oh, I've picked someone up tomorrow. Once I've picked someone up tomorrow, when I use the pay machine, does it ask for a registration plate or a set fee?" Just a set fee for as long as you've been in the airport. That is there. And this is a comment, very, very, hang on a minute. This is a comment that I needed to read out from Nikki. Nicola, who has gone to Matharon, gone to Murcia, and about registering the S1. Hi, Chris and team. We've now been in Spain for 3 months and now have our padron attended our TIA appointment. However, not everything has gone smoothly with regarding the healthcare. I thought we would just be able to register a GP and get treatment. Not so. Until you have your TIE and your padron, you can't do anything. So we found a lovely lady who's been able to get us a temporary SIP and came with us as a translator to the doctor's appointment. This will allow us to get prescriptions, not consultants at the hospital, etc., which we need for my hubby's cancer treatment. We'll have to wait until we get our TIE cards and our padron. I think it may be helpful to bring this topic up. Yeah, thanks, Nikki, for that. We will do. So basically, just for those of you on S1s, there is a couple of videos, actually. I'll put the link below that I did on the channel. When you come to Spain, you've got an S1, you can't register the S1 with a social security until you've got your padron certificate and you've had your TIE card appointment and you've got the document called a justificante, which is the document you get, temporary document, before 30 days later you get your TIE card. Those documents then get sent to the social security. The social security then will contact the UK. The UK then say, yeah, this is a valid S1. They'll then send you a document which gives you, it's a certificate which gives you access to healthcare, at which point you can then go to the doctors and register that to be assigned a doctor and continue with your healthcare. But that can take a little bit of time, obviously, by the time you arrive in Spain, get your appointment, get your padron, etc. So if you've got any prescriptions that you need, during that time, then it'd be a good idea to make sure you stock up and bring them with you. And as you say, you can't, as Nikki says there, you can't see a consultant until that's registered. So it's definitely something to bear in mind when you are coming over. So thanks for bringing that up. And Robbo says, I bet business is booming. Here we go. Robbo says, I bet business is booming as people went out of the UK as they're rapidly going down the toilet. Okay, I can't comment on the UK because I don't live there, but I do see the news. Okay, and then we also have here, on our 365-day visa explained, Spain just gave 500,000 criminals free residency visas. You pay. No, they didn't. They are legalizing 500,000 undocumented people, but doesn't mean they're criminals. And that was it. So anyway, guys, that was the YouTube. So let's move on to the next section. Let's have a look at the comments. Shall we see how we're going on the comments? Ooh. I'm an EU passport holder, becoming resident still restricted 10 months out of Spain in 5 years. No, EU passport holders up to, you can spend 186 months, basically 6 months out of the country, 183 days per year, and still maintain your temporary residency. Don't forget, as an EU citizen, you won't get a TIE card. You will get a little green card, which is your registration as a resident, because it's not actually a permiso de residencia, it's a registro de un ciudadano comunitario. So as a European citizen, you already have the freedom of movement around the European Union. You just have to register the country in which you live in. So sorry. Hey, Kev. Sorry, what is beach? Kev, when you coming to fix my my house? I know you're very handy. Went back. Rob says went back to the UK for New Year. Got stamped out, but no stamp back. We've been saving anything from boarding passes to dates. I've played golf. Will the new entry exit date stamps are necessary? We think so. A lot of people are missing stamps, and we've been combating the renewals with exactly what you said: boarding passes and other proof of living in Spain. It's been wet in France, about to build an ark. Okay, then let's move on to the next section, shall we? Which is drink. I can't even remember what I put in food and drink this week. What did I put in food and drink? Oh yes, here we go. We had. Can you believe this? So who sent me this? Oh no! If you, I didn't write down who sent me this, and now I can't remember. Who sent me this? Hang on a minute. See if I can tell. 1 second. Steve, was this you? I think it was. Steve, tell me if this was you or not. So, the Easter eggs are out now in the equivalent to Tesco's in Mikaz. Mikaz has 2 UK shops. There's the Old Iceland and another one which is, I think it's called Tesco's, but it's called the Food Company or something. Where I have to say, I do go at Christmas. I do go there at Christmas, and I don't think they did that well this Christmas because we screened in really late this Christmas to get all our typical bits. Because my children, of course, have been brought up in Spain, and we still like to, give them the traditional values or let them know what we did when we got brought up, albeit they enjoy their very Spanish life. My daughter, if she would live on jamon serrano, I can tell you that now, and aceite. But so we probably get them an Easter egg though at Easter, which isn't really Wales. The Pasqua is a thing here, but it's not like how it is in the UK. You used to wake up, the Easter bunny's bin, and you've got that box with a Yorkie, and it used to be a Yorkie and a cup, didn't it? They used to have like a tea mug or something, and the egg inside it. Nowadays they're far too tight for that. It's a bit of cardboard and 200 grams of chocolate, and they're charging you €8.50. Oof. Now I appreciate this has got to come over from the UK, and there's taxes, there's this, there's that, and the other, but that's quite a pricey Easter egg, eh? So if you do want to enjoy UK British Easter eggs, you can get them from shops in Spain, but at a price. And that was our food section for today. So whizzing through, guys, and we are going to go to our news. Here we go. Oh, I wanted to show you this actually. Let me just open a link. What's going on? Don't open the link. Open the link. I just want to open. Oh, go on, open, please. No, can't open it. Oh, well, I'll show you next week. So I found this article quite interesting. I'm not going to go, oh, dear. There we go. Let's copy the link and put it in the top there. This is one of them. Wow. This shocked me. This really did shock me. Malaga travel agency scam. Families speak out after romance scam victim stole their money. You couldn't make this up, right? So, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. It's Malaga, and then it said that the owner of the flooring agency in Alarin de la Torre. I was like, shock horror. I knew I recognised that that front from somewhere. That red facade thing. And basically, the owner of Florin Viajes had been taking people's money and sending it to a fake soldier she'd met online. And it turns out, read the article, I've put it below, that all these people got scammed out of their money, okay, when they've been basically saving up and prepaying for sort of holidays, and the money had been sent to a overseas lover that she'd met online. So there you go. Says the investigation revealed a bizarre chain of victimization. The agency owner had transferred a staggering 280,000 euros in less than a year to her fake lover. Police traced 80% of these funds to a woman in Catalonia who acted as a money mule, converting the cash into cryptocurrency or laundering it through a computer shop. A final twist: the Catalan suspect had also originally been a victim of a romance scam before being recruited by a criminal network to launder money from new victims like the families in Malaga. Can you believe that? It's just, you wouldn't believe what goes on under your doorstep, would you? Have a read of that article. It was incredible. So, just be careful when you're spending money on these on holidays. That brings me to a thing. Does anybody know? So when you go on holiday, so Spanish generally don't do package holidays, as you would do in the UK. And in the UK, you can do things like, start paying for your holiday early. And I was asking my friends about this, and I said, well, say for example, the reason I ask is because I'm 50 in a couple of years. I was thinking, wow, if I could get like a mega trip booked, but I don't really want to pay for it all in one go, we could like sort of pay, in installments up front. And the only people I found who did anything remotely close to that was Viajes Corte Inglés. So Corte Inglés is like a travel agency, part of Corte Inglés, but even they aren't. What they want to do is finance your journey after the fact. You can't actually go and say, oh, we like that, but we want to go to New York, but it's going to cost $5,000 or more. So we want to give you, all our birthday present money and everything up front, and then maybe make a final payment. It doesn't seem to be anything like that here in Spain, not that I have discovered. So there you go. If you do find anything, let me know, because I haven't found anything. And I thought, we could start saving for a big holiday for my 50th. And it doesn't really seem like you can do it independently, can't you? But I thought it'd be nice to, that sense of paying into a holiday that's up and coming. But from the scams that I've seen, I don't think I want to. Very interesting article here. How wealth is becoming concentrated in Spain. The recent economic growth has become, this is from El País, very well written. Recent economic growth has come with a widening wealth gap. The rich have greater clout than ever. I'm not going to read it all out to you, but obviously Spain, this is there is a thing, and understand that Spain's economy is booming. It is booming. The property market, as we know, is suffering very high prices. If suffering is the correct word, and people can't buy, locals can't buy. But just because the economy is booming, it doesn't mean that everybody's getting rich. This is quite a good angle in this article, which explains what's, from their point of view, what's going on. And got some more comments. Paul says, Paddy says, I only do the one annual Christmas trip to Iceland. Everything else I can get locally in Coin. Yep. And I've started now my supermarket abstention. What's it when you abstain? What's the word I'm looking for now? Where you don't go. I'm desperately not trying to go to supermarkets. Desperately, and I'm doing very, very well. I've now go on a Friday. I'll generally leave work and I'll go to the butcher's, and then next door, very fortunately, there is a fruit and veg shop, and I can get all the staples for the week in there, and you wouldn't need anything else for the whole week. Admittedly, there are bits, there may be the packed lunch bits, dog food, which you need to get from a supermarket, which the family will get. But I'm saying no. So I'm just not. And it's more expensive, but it's not, because when you go to the supermarket, you just fill the trolley. Oh, I'll have some. No, you go there. It's better quality stuff. And I'm doing my best to boycott. That's the word, Patrick. Boycott. I'm doing my best to boycott the supermarkets, just for the pure reason is that I want to buy local and I want to buy better stuff. And do you know the biggest benefit that I've had from this whole thing? That when I get something in my head, I stick to it. Is that when I go to the butchers now, right? They sort of know me because I've been going all year now, all 5 weeks of the year. And and you meet the same people, don't you? Say, oh, how you do? What are you going to get? Some? What do you do with that then? What do you? Oh, I do it like. I say, oh no, I don't do it like that. I do it like this. And there's a community. It's brilliant. And you go in. We were talking about English sausages the other day. I was saying to this lady, I was going, right. So we buy this chorizo criollo. They're called. They actually do in Mercadona as well, and they're like Lancashire sausages, but they're like what you'd have in a full English breakfast. Really good. So sometimes at the weekend we'd have those for breakfast, but the Spanish wouldn't believe you'd have it for breakfast. I went, it's horrible. And I'm like, yeah, then you dip it in an egg. They're like, oh my God, you dip it in an egg? I'm like, yes, it's the best thing ever. And then, we had the conversation the other day about bacon. The guy said, I haven't got the bacon that you lot eat. And I said, what you mean, like the Danish style, smoke? But no, he said, but I can cut our bacon, it's like streaky. But so all that goes on. And next door, I go to the fruit shop, and the guy's got this variety of tomatoes. We were talking about the best salt and the oil to put on it. And you don't do that in a supermarket, do you? You just go around, trolley down, chuck some stuff in, go to one of the self checkouts, and that's it, which is rubbish. El Corte Inglés in the trocha let you chip away at it this way. Oh, really? Okay, then. Cheers, Paddy. I'll go and have a word with them then. It is El Corte Inglés, and we need to be speaking to. Yeah, because I'm thinking plan a big trip and then chip away at it. Gives you something to look forward to. I get very nervous if I haven't got a little trip to look forward to. So, if I'm not got somewhere different to see, I can get quite itchy feet quite quickly. I've already been away a couple of weeks ago, and I'm thinking, another couple of days, go and see something different would be nice. Right then, so that was our news. Where are we now? Up to 52 minutes. I said we get done early today, didn't I? I don't have a fun Spanish word to show you today, but I do have a suggestion. From Pete. Thank you for this. And we may bring this on board. Pete says, have you seen the latest video on Between the Lakes YouTube channel? Oh, that's what I was trying to bring up earlier on. Check out Between the Lakes. Great YouTube channel. And there's Graham and Julie on there, our clients who got rejected. We then appealed. We got them their visa, living happily ever after in Spain. Check that video out. Just in case you haven't, they talked to Graham and Julie, an initial rejection for the NLV. It's really nice testimony to you and your company. Cheers, guys, and your team. Cheers, guys. One last thing. In your section on interesting Spanish words, it might be fun to include some of the more unusual place names here. What made me think of this was seeing that there's a beach near Huelva called Playa de Rompeculos. You have to wonder what happened there for it to get that name. So there you go, guys. That's your homework for today. Google rompeculos, and you guys can come back and tell me what that means next week. Out and about, what have we got to show you? Only one thing to this week before we sign off. And Stu and Joe and Waffles, they have got lemons in a pot. Okay, I think it's 2 lemon trees or 3. And this year they've got 52 lemons so far from their trees. And that's some of the lemons. Thank you guys for bringing those lemons to my inbox. So thank you for sending them to me. That proves that if you want to, you don't have to have a big garden with a lemon tree. You can actually grow the lemons in the pot. So that would be in their second year, I'd imagine, for this crop for those lemons. And well done for getting your lemons off the tree. Now, I didn't get a photo of it, but I've actually started drying lemons for the summer. because the summer drought happens, doesn't it, with the lemons, where we at the moment we're in the feast period for lemons. I'm lucky that I've got a lemon tree or two at home actually, and they're absolutely loaded. And since the storms, they've just blown up. They're like these. They're like look like oranges. They're just massive. They're exploding lemons. I'm going to show you a video of one. Just cut into it. So much juice. Every morning, squeeze them. Squeeze lemons into water and just drink it. It's fantastic for you. But then in summer we won't have any, and that's when we need it around the pool for drinks. So I've been got one of those dehydrating machines. I've been dehydrating them, but I did that a couple of years ago, and then within 2 months they went black. And they said, and I thought they were dehydrated, but they just went black. And then someone said, "Oh, you can use them black. You see them all the cocktail bars black," but can't say I've got that many cocktail bars. So what I'm going to do this time, after a lot of YouTubing, is I'm going to dehydrate them, pile them up, because then you're saving, and then put them in the freezer. That's what I saw. So I'll let you know how that goes. I might do a video and show you what I'm doing. So there we go. Okay, then, right. Well, I've got to shoot off a little bit earlier today, guys. But thanks for your comments, for you guys who are on. Yogi, thanks for your contribution there. That's much appreciated. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe and like every week at 6 p.m. On a Wednesday. We do our weekly update plus a load of shorts, and as and when we check videos out as well to the channel. If you like the content, you can buy me or buy us a coffee here in the office. And we will be back next week with our weekly update 106. So that is ciao for now and hasta la pasta.